What about those little headsets? Okay. Start over.
Yep.
Okay.
Make a note. Ready?
Yep.
Welcome to the Curly Hair Q&A show. I'm your host, Ken Nickels, and I'm here with Melanie Nickels. She is the founder of the Raw Hair Organic Salon in beautiful Naples, Florida. It's one of the top curly hair salons in the country, and Melanie is one of the top curl and hair color experts anywhere in the world. She is also the founder of the Raw Curls brand of natural and organic curly hair products that can be found at rawhairorganics.com or possibly your local salon or hairstylist. So you can send us an email and we'll let you know if there's somewhere in the area you can get it. So this is show number 195, and we apologize we're a little bit late today, but
This is our Halloween horror show.
this is our Halloween
It's
horror show.
official. It's the Halloween horror show.
It is. It is. We actually, the last 2 days, Melanie was hosting a Raw Curls Academy 2-day workshop to train up new curly hair stylists. And after the class was over today, Helen and Melanie, in separate cars, headed north to our studio about an hour from the salon where we produce the show. And there was a wreck on the freeway, and Melanie got stuck in traffic along with Helen for a couple hours at least.
Took me 3 hours.
And well, here
I
we are.
could have driven to Orlando.
Yeah, you could have. You could have.
I should have.
Anyway, so here we are. So if you've got questions tonight and you are watching the show live, just like every week on the or at the Curly Girl Support Group on Facebook, you can post a question where you see us live. And I'm going to check that. I'm going to check that out right now, and you'll get your question answered tonight by curl expert Melanie Nickels. So tell us, last 2 days taught the class. How did it go? Tell us about it. Tell us what's involved. So if there's stylists that are listening to the podcast or watching tonight, they have an idea of what you actually do there.
All right. Well, it is a 2-day action-packed class. It's, long days of tons of information. It really should be 3 days because I'm cramming in years and years and years of experience and education into those 2 days, teaching an all-encompassing curly haircut, meaning you learn to cut dry, you learn to cut wet, you learn to when to do what, and on what hair type. You can apply this system to any hair type, any style. So it is really, really beneficial, worthwhile. The stylists go through doing the haircut like at least three times. You get one-on-one attention from me, hands-on. I'm standing there, almost literally holding your hand, walking you through it, answering your questions, helping with any struggles that you might have from previous experiences or, just concerns, going through this. And you don't leave the class until you feel completely confident. We had some stylists that were, one was more experienced in the curly cutting than the other. This was really her. She took like the Look and Learn Diva class, but this was her first like real hands-on curly cutting class. So anyway, it's always interesting whether it's experienced or new stylists to work with them. That really doesn't make a difference. It's just lots of information, lots of new techniques, but to help so that you can go back to your salon and apply these tools immediately and start working in the curly hair business.
Yeah. What's interesting is it has been difficult this year. We had talked at the end of last year that we were going to be teaching a lot of classes this year. We announced the upcoming Curl Institute here in Naples, and that whole project that we were going to start building and doing a lot of educating and hosting other educators as well. And then COVID hit,
Mm.
and that screwed everything up. And in the past, we'd been teaching classes of 8, 10, 12 students typically, which would be about all we could handle and still give enough of the personal attention by Melanie. So so we'd have stylists that would leave and be and be at least somewhat proficient in what they were doing. And now that COVID hit, we ended up having what did we say? 2 or 3 times we had to cancel this class that just happened today.
Yeah, I forget. I lost track, but both of them had been, rescheduled several times, and unfortunately, but we're very understanding of it because everything had been a mess and rescheduled. But we were just so happy that they finally got to complete the class. And then unfortunately, we had one girl that she was sick. She couldn't even come at the last minute the day before she came down with something, and
And then we weren't going to take that chance.
yeah.
Stay home.
So anyway, but these ladies had been waiting anxiously to get through the class, and I know they really enjoyed it and learned a lot. So, between cutting and then, just questions about coloring and styling, sometimes it's the basic styling that they have struggles with, believe it or not. But, and all these little details and all these little techniques make all the difference. If you don't know how to finish and style the hair, it's going to be a disaster. So kind of funny because, they both forgot a step today, and, they had to redo, go back, kind of backtrack. And, it was something important that really made a difference in the hair. It's not like you can say, oh, oops, I just kind of skipped that. But anyway, it happens, and that's what classes are for. And,
That's what they're for.
training and practicing so that, hopefully you get more proficient at it. And then you're ready when you start working back at your salon, and it just becomes habit, and you don't have to think so much about each step along the way. It's a pretty it's a lengthy process, this the full haircut. Like I say, is 2 haircuts in one, because you're cutting dry, you're cutting wet, you're sculpting, and then all the styling on top of that. So typically when a new client comes in, so these models that they've never met before, or a new customer in the salon, you're looking at a 2-hour appointment. So, that's a lot of new information to remember.
It is. It's a lot.
They did great. So the girls did great.
Yeah. So we did go ahead, and I'm literally am just releasing these. We talked about it last week, and they're going to be available on the rawcurls.com/academy website for licensed professional stylists. New dates, January 24th and 25th of 2021. 2-day class there. I have one.
I think it's sold out. No, it's sold out because
Is it?
the girl that didn't make it today
Is going to take that last spot.
Yeah.
Okay. So the January class is sold out. I've got spots February 21st and 22nd and March 28th and 29th at the Naples, Florida salon. Will be holding 2-day classes. So if you're interested, if you're a stylist or you think your stylist should take one of these classes, let them know. As I said, spots this year, very, very limited. And we're looking at later in the year after March into April and the rest of the year, we'll probably be doing some traveling and doing some trainings across the country. So if you are a salon and you're interested, let us know if you'd like to host. We'd be more than happy to do that. But we're going to do a bunch of classes this year. Hell or high water. So anyway, so that's pretty much it.
I'm glad you have everything scheduled out for me. He's so good at scheduling my schedule.
You wanted to travel. You get to travel.
Yeah, and work.
It reminds me of the movie Titanic, right? You wanted to go on a cruise, and all those people were in the hold.
We get to go on vacation, but Ken schedules me work. That's awesome.
Oh my gosh! So you want to get into some questions? Or you got any fun facts or anything you want to share? Got the whole family here tonight.
Oh my
Melanie and I,
gosh.
Murphy's Murphy's here. She's been sleeping all day, so she's awake. All right.
I don't know if I had any fun facts. I forgot them on the drive here. I mean, that was so stressful. Mm,
Yeah.
I hear I should have been like 2 hours early for the show and then end up being late. That's just really awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my one of my students ate my lunch today.
Really?
That was fun.
Because Melanie's a picky eater, so
No,
you
no,
wouldn't eat somebody else's
no,
lunch.
no. They ate the wrong lunch.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, you could eat the other lunch, can't you?
No, no. It
See,
was not
told you.
something I would eat.
See, don't you?
No, no. Our sandwiches got mixed up, and mine was like a vegetarian burger.
Sometimes they're hard to tell the difference.
No. This other one was a breakfast burger. Like
Oh,
it had, I don't know. To me, it was disgusting. But
let me guess, tomatoes and onions.
oh well, I mean, I just started to open the box.
Yeah.
So, I ate some of my French fries first. At
Uh-huh.
least I got fries,
Right.
but because I wasn't even going to do that, but that was my lunch. So I started to open the box because I only had like 5 minutes. Our models were already there. We were behind schedule because
Yeah.
the girls wanted to see me do a live model. So we did. We changed it up, which I've not done that before. Normally I like to spend the time working, having the students working on models and mannequins, but they really wanted to see me do somebody. So we did that. We fit it in, but it put us a little, on a crunch for time. But anyway, so I start to open the box and I'm like, I'm smelling onions, and I'm like, my sandwich definitely doesn't have onions on it. I can tell you that. So I just barely pry it open. I was like, oh my God. And I don't know how she just thought maybe it was something different than, what she's had before. But I mean, this had like egg and potatoes and onions. It was like, I don't
Sounds
know.
good.
It was like a breakfast. What do you call that? Like,
Burrito.
yeah, or hash, whatever. I don't know.
Right.
On a burger. But yeah, not something I would eat. So I was like, well, you can have this one too now. So yeah.
Oh, well.
I had French fries.
Your favorite. That and popcorn. All right. Okay. Yeah. If you're at the rawcurls.com/academy website, there should be the January date is up there. The February and March dates are not. They should be up there tomorrow if they're not up there tonight. So you'll be able to grab those. And I would, because like I said, if you are interested, I would grab one of them now, because that January class that I announced last week booked up 2 days later. 2 days later. So, and it's just because we can't teach as big of classes this year. It is what it is. So
It worked out fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad we had a small class this time, and the girls were really fun. I hope they enjoyed
Yep.
it. I think they did. It was nice though to have a small group, to get in the groove of doing this new setup with COVID and everything, and just like that, like having to order food out. Normally we go together as a group and go to the restaurant, but we couldn't do that.
Yep.
So it was kind of funny. I mean, I really don't care. Normally I wouldn't even eat lunch anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. But
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's what I figured.
yeah, so.
All right, let's get some questions. Melanie, I want to integrate. I want to integrate the Raw Curls mousse into my routine of Raw Curls cleanser and conditioner. I use a small amount of Jessie Curl deep conditioner as a leave-in, and I finish with the Eco Slay orange marmalade, which is it's kind of like a curl cream, I guess you'd call it. When should I squeeze the mousse in?
Okay. She's using the Jessie Curl what? Oh, leave-in conditioner.
The deep conditioner as a leave-in.
What styling product is she using other than the mousse?
The Eco Slay orange marmalade, which is
Is that a gel?
yeah, it's more like a curl cream in my
Oh, that's
opinion.
a cream.
In my opinion,
Okay, so I don't know that I would
Gel
use those
cream.
two together, like a cream and a gel, but I mean a cream and a mousse. Normally it would be one or the other, but just I'm not super familiar with that product, but I would say the mousse goes on first. So it's gonna, because that's your lightest styling product, so you're gonna put that on first. It's always lightest to heaviest.
Okay, there you go. All right, let's see what else we got here for questions. All right, we gotta look for questions. Yeah, they actually make that
Orange marmalade sounds like
Yeah,
something I should eat.
yeah. I don't know. It's got a weird consistency.
Hmm. Like a
It's
custard?
actually got flaxseed in it, so it's like a gel, I guess you could call
Hmm.
it.
Okay, so that would be right then. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Orange marmalade.
Bear with me.
I have my orange marmalade top on.
You do,
It's for to be in the spirit of the holidays coming,
because it's orange, right?
fall and Halloween.
Yeah, you guys have to bear with me on the feed here where I get the questions live. It doesn't show them all to me, so I have to wait for people to comment for stuff to get bumped up for me to actually see it. It's strange. It's a glitchy Facebook thing. Melanie, how do you apply the Raw Curls Shine Serum oil, and when will the pomade be available again?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too, because it sucks running out of the pomade. I've searched this
Sucks.
world trying to find something comparable, and there is nothing. So
I've been
anyway,
arm twisting all I can. Yeah.
yeah. Shine serum is a finishing product. So I use that at the very end once the hair is dry. And you can use it to break the cast or after you've broken the cast, just as a finishing product. My favorite is to actually cocktail that with the pomade. Doesn't have to be. You can use them separately, one or the other. But a lot of times if I'm not going to use a pomade, I'll use a tiny little bit of shine serum and just use that to break the cast, scrunch out the crunch, whatever you want to call it. But always I use it as a finishing product on dry hair. So it's going to, give you some shine, calm down any flyaways, but it doesn't have hold. It's just oils. So that's why I like to cocktail it with the pomade because you get more hold.
Yeah, it's that's something that I need to post more about, showing how you use that, because the way you make that cocktail is unique, and a lot of people question it because they don't see it, they don't understand how and that's why I tell people, I'm like, I just had this conversation with someone in one of the groups. I want to say yesterday or Saturday. And I said, what you got to understand is she's just putting like one pump in there, just like a little bit
One
mixed with
squirt, yeah,
yeah,
that's
a
literally
very
like,
little bit.
what are they not understanding? I've shown
Well,
that on lots of
yeah,
videos.
because a lot of people, have the idea that it's, like I tell that story about that girl in my high school, just like coat it, like they want to go all the way to their, to their scalp with it and pull it all the way down. And I'm like, no, that's not the idea of it. You know.
No, it's literally one pump. Yeah, unless you have hair that is super thick, type 4, ABC, you might use a little more than on your ends. But yeah, I'm literally taking the way that I explain it and that I've done videos and showed everyone is I'm literally taking a scraping full of pomade on the tip of my fingernail. It's no more than, and I have little fingers and little fingernails. So that's not much pomade. It's like the size of a pea. And then I'm putting that in the palm of my hand and then literally putting one squirt of the shine serum. And then you make sure that you emulsify it together. Don't forget, you have to rub your hands, which is emulsifying. And then I always show people it looks like there's nothing left. There's some shine on my hands. But actually, one of my stylists kind of made that mistake today. She didn't emulsify it enough and she started to put her hands in the hair of the model, and then there was a chunk of pomade, and so wrong. That's not a good way to do it. You need to have it completely emulsified, so you're just working off of like your fingertips, or there's just a slight amount of product that's going in the hair. You can just glide it over lightly. Any little frizzy flyaways that are left, on top or just working off of your fingers, so it's hardly any product at all. You don't want hunks, you don't want big pieces of pomade.
Yeah, you don't. All right. Let's see. Melanie, I've got an issue. It has always happened, and I'm so tired of it. The back under layers of my hair go flat slash straight, a few hours after I wash. And at the bottom of my curls, they tend to do. She's showing a picture. They tend to go straight at the bottom, is the way that it looks. and it's driving her insane. She wants to know, does she need a new cutting technique that she needs to try? Does what else?
Can I?
Is it product? I'm going to show you a picture.
Mm.
Is it a product related? Is it she's recently moved to a super humid environment? Wants to know if that's why they're limp. Show the picture, and I can show you the picture. So she's a wavy, but the bottom goes like flat, like straight.
Straight. So my hair can do that too, and sometimes it's just the way that your curl pattern is, and that could be the case. It definitely could, need a haircut. Um, getting a curly cut is going to help that. One of the models that came in today had a similar situation, but her hair was over processed. And she hadn't had her hair cut in a very long time. So the ends were very straight and stringy, and so they needed to be cut, and it looked amazing. Just, doing that part of the haircut made such a big difference and made it look so healthy. So it could just definitely need a haircut, the right kind of curly cut. And then also make sure that you're applying product diligently, from root to end, section by section. And, that seems like it seems like it might be a lot to deal with, but it's really not. It goes fast. On wet hair, you're going to apply, I would say, a firm gel, and then making sure that her hair is long. So you got to make sure that you're getting it all the way down to the ends. Like if you start applying it from the root, you might be running out of product by the ends. I've realized that with my own hair. I have to go back and make sure that I have enough on my hands that I can get it all the way to the ends of the hair. Otherwise, they can end up straighter too. So that definitely could be part of the issue.
Okay. All right. Melanie, I'm trying out a scalp massage brush. Do they actually help with hair growth?
Yes. Because it's going to stimulate, blood flow. And so, yeah, they absolutely do. There's that old wives' tale about brushing your hair 100 strokes a day. And I have an old client who still lives by that. And she's got a beautiful head of hair. And she, always gets compliments, out and about and at church. And she swears by that.
When I was a little kid, they talked about that all the time.
Yeah.
Brush your hair 100 times before you go to bed. The girls did.
Yeah. So, we don't really recommend that for curly hair.
No.
But just saying, it does, help to have that stimulation on the scalp to have blood flow.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the hair growth products that I work with, they too have ingredients that are going to help to stimulate, the scalp and the blood flow, like, things like cayenne pepper and, the menthols and things like that are going to be more, again, stimulating.
Yeah. Yeah. This next one, the question comes with a picture, and I'm going to have Melanie describe it to you after I show it to her.
Oh boy.
Melanie, my daughter's cat was grooming her and bit off a chunk of her hair. Any thoughts on what she can do other than cutting the rest of her hair?
The cat bit off a chunk of hair?
Take a look.
That's hysterical.
Not really. It's a lot, eh? Look at that.
You mean in the middle there?
Yes.
Like over her eye?
Yes. It's like she took a chunk out. I'll bet you that's 5 inches long, 6 inches long. It's a chunk.
Get rid of the cat.
Okay. Everybody knows I'm not a cat fan. I'm an animal lover. Not a fan of cats.
I'm kidding. I love cats. I had cats growing up. That's
she did.
funny.
She tried bringing one home right after we got married.
I did bring one home.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy.
It didn't stay.
It was a Halloween cat. It was black and it was possessed.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of cats, and that was the weirdest cat ever.
Get that cat off my carpets.
It wouldn't go in the litter box. Who's ever had a cat that wouldn't go in the litter box? And it was that was a possessed cat.
Not a fan.
I don't know what happened. It knew that you didn't like them.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
so how weird. That is kind of funny. I'm sorry. But so what does she want? What should they do? Well, I mean,
is cutting the only answer?
Okay, either you're going to cut to, match the rest of the hair. So what's happening
What
here?
about bangs?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So cut bangs, it could be fun. Force you into a new change. Try something different. They are always going to grow out. So what's happening here is there's like, let's say, 4 inches of hair. And then in the center of that, there's, a missing hunk, and it's only a couple inches long compared to the rest of it is like as long as my little tendrils. So yeah, either you're going to cut bangs or you're going to just let it grow. You could try to, blend. It's a younger girl, but you could blend in like a side swept bang. I have to do that on some of my girls that are going through menopause or just had a baby and they get these little, wispy breakage pieces in the front that are really thin or, short. And so sometimes I have to just blend in something from shorter to longer. So that would work too. So there's options. hmm
Hmm.
Otherwise, let it grow. Use a bobby pin, pin it to the side, headband,
Yeah.
camouflage it,
Yeah.
gel it.
Melanie, does the term hidden layers or invisible layers ring a bell to you at all?
Yeah, I do it all the time. I love them.
Really?
hmm
Tell us about them.
Well, it's just a way of doing layers that don't stand out. And, really, that's a good haircut anyway, because I feel like the layers should be blended. Like it just flows, like my hair, you don't see, individual specific hunky layers. So it just flows from top to bottom. And so that's like invisible, but they're there. There's lift, there's movement in the hair. If you would take your fingers and run it through the hair or shake it out, you could lift out, the shorter pieces. So yeah, I love cutting hair like that. And that's really, like I say, just a good haircut.
Okay. All right. Good. Uh,
They're blended.
yeah. Um, Melanie, does porosity matter?
Yes. And just going a side note back to the layer thing,
Oh, sorry.
that's a lot of things that I'm doing is correcting bad layers when people come in. Oh, almost always. When they come in for their first curly cut, whether they've had a different curly cut or, this is their first time and they've had regular cuts on their curly hair, so many times. Oh, so many times I'm correcting bad layers because they're shelfy and bulky. And so that's one of the things that we have to fix. Anyway, porosity absolutely matters. Yes.
Okay.
hmm It matters for, I have a new, and actually, I have come up with a new porosity test.
Really?
Yes. And I'm like super excited to share this. I almost forgot. So this would be a really fun. Yeah, because I started thinking about this and I'm not a huge fan of the float test and I talk about the stretch test. That's
Yeah,
that's
because a
fine.
hair strand can have different porosity
Yeah.
at
But
different parts of the
but this
strand.
is really basic and simple and it totally makes sense because porosity is, how much liquid water the hair will absorb. So it came to me while I was working on, well, actually, one of the big chops that I just did, I posted that was a fun client that I had this week. Oh my gosh. She had so much hair, like down to her ankles and super thick, and she wanted it like just beneath the shoulders and lots of and layered. So it was fun. But anyway, her hair was definitely low porosity. So that means it's not absorbing all, that water, that hydration into the hair. Um, so the high porosity hair is more porous and it absorbs the water. And the way that you can test this is like a simple test because what we always tell people is to style their hair on soaking wet hair, and then we apply the products, and then you're flipping your head over and scrunching the products in. Well, during that process, if this is like, again, a simple way that I realize we can determine because people are so interested in this. If you are low porosity, that water is just like dripping off of the hair. It's just dripping. There's a big puddle on the water. I mean, on the floor of water. Um, if it's high porosity, by the time I get to this point after I've applied the gel and, section by section, I flip the head over, I start scrunching the hair. There's like actually like little to no water dripping because it's literally soaking into the hair. That hair has been, is absorbing all of that water. It's being locked in with the gel. There's no extra because that hair needs it. That's very porous hair. The hair that's low porosity that doesn't need it, it's just dripping out because the hair can't absorb it anymore. It doesn't need it. Interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there's a new porosity test for you.
All right. Keep that in mind.
Mm.
All right, let's see. Melanie, I have one patch on the back of my head where the hair feels super coarse. The rest of my hair is soft and smooth, but no matter what I use, even wet, this patch doesn't get smooth and it feels gross. Any thoughts?
I just had a client like this. That's so interesting this week. And I have another client that's it's been that way. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's causing that, other than if it's in the back, it could be where the water's hitting you in the shower. That could be caused also from just like if you sleep on the back of your head and it's getting more friction. It could be caused from a gray patch of hair. Something's different about that texture, or it's just a different texture in that spot. It could happen, and I've seen it. So the only thing you can do is just accommodate, for that area by using different products. Like maybe you need some more conditioner, like a little bit of a leave-in there, like a heavier leave-in, something that's more moisturizing than what you're using throughout the rest of the hair. So you just have to, sometimes I have to adjust my color formula. People have different levels of their natural color in their hair. So they might be a lot of times I have this where they're more white in the front and then they still have dark hair in the back. So I have to adjust my formula. I'm going to use something different through this front area that's pure white hair than I'm using, like a lot of times, on a blonde or whatever, or even just really any hair color. I have to mix a different formula for the back because I have a different starting point. So, you just have to adjust to accommodate whatever you're working on.
Okay. All right. Melanie, I just ran into my mom's friend and her hair is extremely porous. It was porous before she bleached it,
Mm,
and after bleaching, it's even more porous.
shocker.
This was done at home, and then her daughter in law used, allegedly, temporary color over the top the next day
Mm,
and colored it blue.
great.
Now the hair is an awful green,
Yeah.
and I want to help her fix it. Is there a color remover that I can purchase that is available in Canada?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about Canada, but be careful because that hair is really compromised. There's a lot going on there. It's been through a lot of stress. There are now, thankfully, there are color removers for direct dyes. There never used to be that back in the day. There were, I had all kinds of little other tricks for, hair that was stained from color, those direct dye colors. But now they do have them. Malibu Sea has one. Um, and who else? There's other brands that will say like direct dye color lifters or,
Mm-hmm.
correctors or,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it's going to be. So I'm not sure what to recommend in Canada, but like I say, if you can get Malibu Sea, I know they have one. And then there's other brands that I've seen out there that have them as well. Um, I'm trying to remember if it was Joico or something I've seen. I don't know. There's once somebody comes out with something, then all the companies seem to jump on the bandwagon. But that's what you need. So just look for a direct dye color remover.
Uh-huh. Okay, good. All right.
Definitely don't use anything else with peroxide. Oh my goodness.
Okay. I've got I've got an insider hot tip that I haven't even told Melanie yet. I'll tell you guys, and then I'll
Oh,
keep you posted.
okay.
Malibu Sea reached out to us and said, "Hey, we're working on some special stuff for curly hair. We want you to test it out for us. Would you do it?" And I said,
Mm,
"Yep, send it to me."
cool.
So we'll keep you posted. There's maybe some stuff on the way, unless Melanie nixes it. We'll find
Mm.
out.
Yeah, like I was telling the girls in my class about, oh, I don't, well, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyway. Remember those weird highlighting sponges that lady gave me?
Yes.
Oh, they were so weird. So, and I felt bad because this person, obviously, I know like how hard it is to develop something and the time and the effort and the money that it takes, but not everything's a winner. And she wanted me to, because I was doing hair coloring classes at the shows and everything, and, I'm involved with the ABCH. So she wanted me to test these and give her
Mm-hmm.
my feedback. And
Yeah.
I didn't like them.
Yeah. That
I was not a
happens.
fan. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think of
So,
that other story about that hair color line out of Nashville.
yes.
that they asked you to test?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's I mean, hey, if you're listening to this or watching the show and you've got something, and you want us to see it, you can give it to us in confidence, and we will, we'll look at it. Put it this way, and there's several people. I don't know if they'll tell you. I don't know if they'll tell you in the comments or not if they're seeing this, but there's several people that have come to us with things, and we won't steal your idea. And B, we'll give you
Definitely not stealing those ideas.
be nice. We won't steal your idea. If you want our feedback on it and our help, we're more than happy to guide you in the right directions.
Oh, yeah. I'll
30
let you
some
down
years.
easy. I mean,
God, you're a jerk.
sucks.
Everybody says I'm the jerk. Honestly, but if you do, yeah, send it to us, and we'll take a look at it and give you our honest feedback. And if we can help you, we will. And we won't steal your ideas. That seems to be like the biggest thing with people is they are terrified that somebody's going to steal their idea. And I tell people the same thing all the time. Our ideas are crap. Execution's is the key.
Yeah.
There's so many people with great ideas, but if you can't execute on it, it's worthless. There's tons of great ideas.
Because I have a great idea right now, and we haven't executed on it, and it is a really great idea. You guys are gonna love it because I am gonna get it done. With or without you, I am doing it. No, it's a really, really good tool. I can't wait. It really is simple, but everyone's going to love it. It's going to be easy to use.
It ain't going to make any money. That's the problem.
Oh, whatever.
I know what you're talking about. There's no money in it.
It's going to make money. Everyone's going to buy it.
Who's everyone?
Everyone. Everyone with hair.
It would take millions of those. I don't know. The Scrub Daddy. So, I mean, they sold a ton of those, and nobody but Lori thought that thing would fly.
Exactly. Millions. Well, we'd sell, if you sold them for $1 and you sell millions, that's all right.
Unless it cost you 80 cents to make. Anyway, whatever. But yes, so yeah, feel free. If you've got something to it and you want, we're more than happy to either A, let you down easy, or B, guide you in the right directions, and we can help you to avoid pitfalls.
I was talking about that today. Just like what you said, you can have the best product or the best idea in the world, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't get marketed, it sucks. And that's so hard. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of,
test and learn, and it's expensive.
Yeah. And really, just getting connected with the right people in the right places. And yeah, like we were just saying, McDonald's is a perfect example. We always go back to that one because it's a crap product, but they are really good at marketing.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I don't know if I ever told that story here, but I actually got a one-on-one full day workshop, one-on-one with the guy who was the retired president of marketing with McDonald's. I've told you that story before, right?
I'm sure you have, but I've forgotten. There's been so many.
It's a long story. I'll tell you. It was
all your stories are
Nicole from the condo got me into that in Waterford. She got me into that last minute. Yeah, it was a cancellation of something she had set up. It was a $25,000 a day thing. And that was literally the first thing he told me. He's like, we know we have the worst product, but we pride ourselves that we have the best marketing. And they're right. Mm-hmm. They're right. Yeah. So anyway, that was an interesting day.
Very.
I got 25 grand from them. And I did learn some things. All right, let's see what else I got here for questions.
Okay.
All right.
Let's see what else I did this week. Oh, yes. So my big chop was really fun. She had so much hair.
Yeah. Rebecca, are they leaving the silicones out? I don't know. I'll tell you when I get them.
Oh, pomade. You were talking about when are we going to get pomade?
I've been twisting arms, and I'm doing the best that I can.
I wish I could have posted this haircut on the
stinks. Yeah.
Curly group. It was a men's haircut. It was this makes me angry. And I don't know, I've seen a lot of bad work lately. I don't understand. You know what? Like we are, you should be so grateful to be working and have a job and have business. And then people are putting out like really, really bad work. I don't understand that. I don't know. There's a difference between having an off day and an off moment and really screwing up somebody's hair. Like you just clearly don't. This is actually kind of, well, I know it's weird, but it's kind of funny to me. Like this person screwed up my client's hair so bad. He went off to college and he got like a massacred haircut. Okay. And so the mom calls me and, says, "Hey, we're in town. Can you just like fix his sideburns? Because they're really off. They like cut one and didn't cut the other." So I'm like, "Okay, yeah, just send him in 5 minutes, whatever, be done out the door." Oh my God, this haircut was such a hot mess. It was ridiculous. And I said, "Was this somebody new? Was it a young person?" And he said, "No, they've been doing hair 13 years. 13 years. That's, and to top it off,
I saw that. I
it
don't know if
was,
they tried to fade the back or whatever, but it was awful.
I don't know what they tried.
I could have did that better.
I think you could have done better. And to top it off, get this, the stylist cried. Because the mom said, "What did you do to my son's hair?" The stylist cried. I'm like, he should have cried, not the stylist. Oh my
He
God.
couldn't see the back, or maybe he could see the sides because the sides were.
It was a mess. I could not let him walk. He's like, he's really cool. He's like, I just wore a hat, and he's kind of laughing about it. But I'm like, that's sad. Like, that is really sad. Come on.
Yeah, let's see what else I got. I may let me see if I got any more questions. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up.
Let me see what else I did.
Do you have anything
Oh,
else?
I have another client. I'm so proud of her. She was growing out her hair from a little pixie. I didn't realize it was that short. Her friends had recommended her to me. So I saw her last season and she came in and it was shorter but and starting to get curly, but she was still straightening that front because she didn't really know what to do with it because that's how she wore it as a pixie. I didn't realize that. And but I thought, why is she pulling that front so straight and then the rest, is curly? So I coached her and I guided her and I gave her a raw curls cut and now she just came back and it looks so cute. She's doing her hair all curly and she has fabulous curls. It looks amazing. I'm very proud of her. So yay, she's continuing to grow it out and it looks awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Melanie, I've heard of reverse washing hair. Conditioning first, then shampooing. Is this okay to do? Tresemme, I said it right. Tresemme also has a reverse washing set that you can buy. Any thoughts on that or no?
I don't agree with it. I think it's weird. So it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't. If you're gonna like, the people that are into the co-washing, so I guess they're maybe trying to pre-soften the hair. That's the only way that it would make any kind of sense. I've had, the ultra textured hair where you want to like pre-soften it, pre-condition it, before you're washing that hair. But for everybody to do that, no, it doesn't make sense. And then, you'd still condition after that, So, because if you're using conditioner and then shampoo, you're just, I don't know, it's backwards because there's different pH levels, So, the cleansers have a little bit higher of pH to, clean the hair and wash the dirt out and, do their job. And then the conditioner is to soften and, moisturize the hair and, now you're going to be washing that out and that closes the cuticle down. So it doesn't make sense to me. I don't like it. I don't agree with it.
Okay. All right. That's good. Okay. All right. Let's wrap it up. I think that's all we got for tonight. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, Monday, same time. Hopefully regular
God,
time.
there's a full
The
moon.
7:30.
I don't know what's going to happen next week. This
That's
was such a
right.
train wreck. Oh my gosh.
That's right. It will be a full moon. But
Seems like it today.
yeah, and we got a good rain too. So anyway, yeah. So next week we'll be back up on Instagram as well at the at Raw Curls. So keep that in mind too. Hopefully we'll get the YouTube channel sorted out as well. And I'm trying to think, is there anything else? Oh, I do want to answer one other quick question that was asked of me twice this weekend, and I said I'll ask Melanie just to be sure. People that are coming down to Southwest Florida for the winter months, how much in advance do they have to make an appointment to get in with you at the Raw Hair Organic Salon for a raw curls cut?
I book out a lot of times 3 months in advance.
So now would be good. Book your appointment now, and you can do that by calling 239-597-0939 and speak with the lovely Jessica at the front desk.
Yeah, because I know my schedule doesn't really have much right now until at least January. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you're booked 2 months.
and I don't even have the seasonal people here yet. So.
Right. Right.
Well,
I think
November,
a lot of
December, January, I'm booked.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are playing it by ear.
But you never know. Like I just had a cancellation for tomorrow morning. So hey, I've got a spot available tomorrow morning, 9:00.
Or you could sleep in.
That's right.
You could exercise. You could go out and do some rollerblading or running.
I thought of something that I want to talk about because that girl, I knew there was other reason why I wanted to talk about the girl with the big chop. So this is interesting, and I talked about this in my class again today because I need, people don't be embarrassed to ask me about stuff or tell me, something that you're doing, because then it helps me to understand how to guide you and coach how to do it correctly. So this client that I had, her hair was really it's very thick. It was super thick, but it was so oily in the back here, like almost the whole entire back of her head was like very greasy and oily. There was a huge buildup. And then the rest of it is like really dry, So I'm like, what is going on back here? And I told her, I said, I feel like there's a lot of oil buildup back here. And so we started talking about washing the hair. Come to realize, so again, misinformation or not understanding.
Where's her? I thought she was getting her own YouTube channel. I think she has the channel.
Maybe she was the one guiding her. But so when we talk about cleansing she said the top of the hair. But when we talk about cleansing and washing the hair, we talk about getting in and washing at the root. Okay. So she took that as cleansing the top of the hair, meaning just the top of the head and not the rest of the hair. So she was never scrubbing the back of her head. She was just washing the top of her head, letting the suds or the shampoo, whatever's left run down to the ends. Cause we talk about that, not having to scrub the ends of the hair, just washing she took it as the top. I always call it the roots. Maybe that would have helped. But regardless, that means all over your entire head. So get in at the scalp and scrub the entire scalp, top of your head, sides of your head, bottom of your head, making sure your entire scalp is nice and clean. And then we're talking about letting, using those suds or, in my hair, I do have to add a little extra shampoo or cleanser to the ends to just, I call it milking the cow, but just letting, going down the strand, not necessarily scrubbing this hair like you're scrubbing at the root, but you have to do your entire head. You can't skip the whole back. You have a grease pit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she just misunderstood, but look at that,
Makes a lot of difference.
Mm-hmm. So if I don't know
Knowledge is power.
yeah, just like that whole thing where people were having such a struggle getting product on the crown of their head. And I thought, why in the world? I don't understand. That's so odd to me. Like, are your arms that short that you can't reach? I mean, what is the problem reaching the crown of your head? And then it occurred to me how many people are told to apply their products upside down. Well, of course you're missing the crown of your head. So I don't agree with that process. At some point, you need to be applying product sitting up so you can see what you're doing and being able to reach the crown of the head. Important.
Sure is.
So, sometimes it's misinformation or, you're just not doing it totally correct.
Okay.
Partial.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's wrap it up. Thanks again. Tonight, actually, probably about 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight, the show will be available as a podcast anywhere that you consume your podcasts, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Podcast Addict, and SoundCloud. I personally listen to it on Stitcher, so check it out at the Curly Hair Q&A show, and please subscribe. It does great things for our algorithm. So anyway, we'll see you next week. Got some cool stuff coming up. Oh,
Have a happy
and announcements.
Halloween.
Yeah, have a happy Halloween. And
If there's trick or treat, I don't know.
the only trick or treat in beautiful Naples, Florida, is at the fairgrounds, which is right around the corner from our house, actually.
But people are having private parties, I think, and they're still doing stuff.
Not
Anyway,
I.
enjoy.
Enjoy.
Have fun.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.